Hey, this is Dave Jackson from the schoolofpodcasting.com. Today we're going to answer the question, how much media hosting do I need for my podcast? Well, to answer this question, you need a couple things. You need the number of episodes you plan on producing a month, the rough estimate of how long the average episode is going to be, and then what format are you going to publish them in? We'll talk about the different formats. There are two that are very popular. One is 64 kilobits per second mono, and this is roughly a half a meg a minute. It's great for primarily a talk show. So if you have a 10-second intro and the rest of it's talk, this would be great for that. It gives you faster downloads, less bandwidth, and it doesn't take up as much space as the other popular format, which is 128 kilobits per second stereo, roughly 1 meg a minute. Again, great for music shows because you need that stereo separation, but it is going to result in bigger files. It's going to take more bandwidth and more time to download. And because the file size is actually bigger, it's going to be a little more expensive to host. But if I was doing a music show, it would probably be 128 kilobits per second. Now, anything above 128 kilobits per second is overkill. Anything below 64 kilobits per second mono, you're really going to start to sound not very good. So what you can do, if you're not sure which format to use, go to whatever you're using. Now, this is an example here in Adobe Audition, but it could be Audacity, it could be whatever you're using. And just export. Here's my project. I've got all my file, my intro music and things like that. And I could just go ahead and export it as a mono file here. And here you can even see I've given it a name so I don't have to guess, wait, which file is this? I can see this is the 64 mono file because I gave the name that. And then when I'm done, I can go right back to that same project and export it at 128 stereo, and then basically vote with my ears. It's your podcast. You can export it however you want it. Just realize there are pros and cons to each one. So let's look at a real world example. Let's say I wanted to do a weekly hour-long show. Well, if I was doing 64 mono, that would be roughly, again, half a meg times 60 minutes because it's an hour-long show. That would mean every episode would be roughly 30 megs. Now, if I was doing a weekly show, that would be 4 episodes a month. So 30 megs times 4 episodes in a month would be 120 megs for the month. If I was doing stereo, a 128 kilobits per second stereo file takes up, again, roughly 1 meg a minute. So that would be 60 megs an episode times 4 episodes means 240 megs per month. For more information, you can see a lot of the different media hosting companies that I've reviewed, and you can see that at podcastmediahosting.com. And of course, you can see all of these in action at schoolofpodcasting.com. Thanks so much for watching. This is Dave Jackson from the School of Podcasting.